towards. So it's boat or over water travel, but usually it's the secondary meaning, which is turning your boat, which is good. So it leads me into the astrology section of the week where as I said, we've just come out of the full moon in Aries, but we still have a couple of major planetary configurations that are going to affect each and every one of us. And the first one I want to start off with on the show this week is Venus, the planet of love and affection, is conjunct or holding hands Mercury, the planet of communication. And they're both sitting in the very intense sign of Scorpio. So what this means for us lay people is that if we have an emotional issue that we need to discuss or talk about with a loved one, a family member, a colleague, somebody that's close to us, be very careful in the way that we present this. Yes, you might feel very passionate about the subject that you're talking about, and you might be speaking from the heart, but make sure that it's very clear, because sometimes when we've got this planetary configuration in Scorpio, people tend to sort of misinterpret the truth or misinterpret the way they deliver the truth or the message. And it can sometimes be seen as being a little bit deceitful or not being completely truthful. Sometimes it can be such an intense situation that it's very prickly or uncomfortable for you and the person that you're sharing it with or the people that you're sharing it with. So let's just be mindful of the fact that it may not be quite as easy to broach this subject as we first thought. It may be a little bit tricky. They might come back with a response we weren't expecting. It may be very emotion driven, and it might be very sort of intense emotion driven. So just be aware of that, because it's not necessarily the perfect time, in my opinion, to bring up a subject that might be a little bit tricky. I'd be sort of be inclined to sort of leave it a little bit, because emotions are very charged and very deep running emotions. It could bring up stuff that you weren't expecting to be sort of brought up. So on a much more global sort of scale, we've still got Saturn conjunct or holding hands with Pluto in Capricorn. And it's sort of like the world stage is still primed for all this political rubbish that's going on around the world, and everybody's focusing on economies and money and, you know, where the economy might be going in your neck of the woods and how can we best get out of this. And then the politicians get up there and spin their truth. And I call it their truth because it's not necessarily always the truth as we know it, but it's their version of it and their interpretation of their truth and what they think we should know. So I think we can expect a little bit more of the same in the coming weeks and months of sort of politicians getting out there and waving their flag of how bastard important they are and how they've got everything in hand, and we mere mortals have just got to follow suit. I don't think that's always necessarily the case, but what we can do as individuals, I think, is take control of our own finances, our own spending, and look at ways that we can maybe improve our own bottom line and not necessarily rely so much on the economy that's going on around us. Make sure our economy starts at home with us and our personal spending. So that takes me on to the famous person of the week this week. And because we're in Capricorn, it'll be nice to feature a Capricorn male who is an actor. And it's somebody that I'm sure there isn't a person around the globe that doesn't know who I'm going to talk about when I announce who it is in a moment or two. He's somebody that oozes charm, somebody that is the epitome of a Capricorn. He's drop dead gorgeous. He's also sort of always seems very easygoing. Nothing much seems to bother him. He's been able to play so many diverse, different roles, won so many awards. There's just too many shows to mention, movies, things like that, Academy Awards that this man's won. It's the one and only Kevin Costner. And I mean, I'm sure there isn't a person in the world that doesn't know Kevin Costner. You've seen at least 1 or 2 or 10 of his films, and each one is so different from the last. He seems to be able to embrace the role. He makes it his own, and he makes it look so easy, as if he's, you know, sitting there in your lounge room on the couch telling you a story, and he's sharing it with you in words. And, you know, I mean, he's taught us all to play baseball in Field of Dreams, and then we went on from that to sort of learn how to play golf with Tin Cup, and you know, and then he, you know, one of the most amazing films that I think that I ever saw him in was Dances with Wolves, and it was one of those movies that, you know, it left an impression on you of just how amazing that film was. Each time that you watch it, and I've watched it many times, you still take out of it something that you've never seen before, a hidden message, and just the way the film was shot and his role that he played in it. And then you go on to other films that Kevin was in, and I think probably one of the very first ones that I ever saw was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And I thought, who's this drop-dead gorgeous looking man? You know, I just sort of sat there mesmerised, and I don't know that I really absorbed the film time because I was admiring the scenery. But you know, a very beautiful film, and it had so many amazing actors in it, and it was just a film that kept you on the edge of your seat. And then, you know, to create history with a very controversial film that he starred in with Whitney Houston. And at the time, I don't know whether we realised around the world, it was one of the first times, if not the very first time, where we had an African-American female fell in love with a white person, and they had a love affair, and it was on screen. And it was one of those most beautiful love scenes where, you know, she gets off the plane and she runs towards him at the end of the film. It apparently was one of the first times that had ever been put down in a movie form. So they made history. And I know at the time, each and every one of us took something different out of the movie, The Bodyguard. And, you know, the music was sensational, and Whitney Houston certainly did an amazing job of the vocals in the film. And the film was interesting, and it sort of just showed you that, you know, how different people react to different things in their life. So it was probably one of the most iconic films ever made, and it will go down in history for those reasons. So this week I want to feature the clearing candle, because I feel that this is really important after all the chaotic energy that we've had, and sort of, you know, being so sort of emotionally charged and so much electricity in our lives with the full moon in Aries, that I thought if we backed it up with a clearing candle where we can just sort of calm everything down. Now, even if you don't have a clearing candle at home, I want you to just get any candle that you've got, close your eyes for a couple of minutes, and put the energy into it that you're going to clear anything out of your life that is no longer necessary, that you want to put sort of like a nice, clean, fresh sort of energy through your home, through your life, through your emotions, so that you can start to sort of be ready to take on board the new opportunities and the new situations that are coming to you in your life. With an extra large candle, they will burn up to about 100 hours. They have a dual wick system in them, and I like to light one side one day and one the next day, but that's just my personal preference. But I also want to show you the fact that we do make up gift box sets that are very, very individual to your own needs. So this week I've actually made up the gift box set with a full moon candle in it, also the candle that represents Aries, but then I've put the good luck candle in there at the end, just to sort of show you that we don't always have to have 3 of the same candles in a gift box set. You can make it as individual as you like. So the combination is endless of how you want to set up your own gift box of candles. There, you know, there's 28 in the range, so there's something there for everyone. And, you know, we've had an amazing opportunity in the last couple of weeks. I've been able to screw the prices down a little bit more on our suppliers. So everything right across the board except for readings at amandahallpsychic.com has had a little bit of a price reduction, which is wonderful. So for those of you that don't want to work with the energy of a candle, you can always get a melt warmer down at your local department store, which gives you the opportunity to take a couple of teaspoons out of your wax, put it in your melt warmer, and sort of use that instead of a candle. It's a safer option. It's something that you can turn on and leave on and don't have to babysit it. It's great in the office. It's great at home. I use these probably more than I do candles now, because I have that flexibility of being able to turn it on, switch it on of a morning, say my little, you know, what's on my list that's underneath my melt warmer, and then walk away and forget it. And sort of every time I walk past it, I give it a little bit more of an energy and think about what I'm actually focusing on for this week. So I hope that sort of helped you understand where things have been going in this last week, where we've had so much energy happening from the full moon, and it's been such an intense time. And so many people sort of say to me, I don't understand why I'm so affected by the full moon, Amanda. I never used to be when I was younger. Is there something that I'm doing different? Is this why the full moon is affecting me now? It's not so much that the full moon affects you more. I think it's as you become more aware and you start to open yourself up psychically and start to listen to your own inner messages, or your messages that are coming from the other side, from your guides and your passed over loved ones that are important to you, that you start to feel energy on every level. You know, you can walk into a room full of people and feel whether the energy is very friendly or whether it's negative or whether you need to be on your guard. So the same thing is said for the energy of the moon. So it's not necessarily the moon's getting more intense, it's just that you're becoming more aware. So we're going to go to our first caller, which is Chris in Inglewood in Florida, USA. Are you there, Chris?
Yes, I am. I'm here. Thank you.
Do you have a question I can work with, please, Chris?
I'm stuck, and I need to know where my next place on the planet is.
When you say your next place on the planet, are you talking about where you need to move to or what you need to change in your life to sort of get things moving?
I think where I need to move to, where I need to be physically on the planet.
Okay. Bearing in mind, Chris, I'm in Australia and I don't know a lot of your landscape in the US, but I will do my very best to sort of help you with this. The first thing that they're sort of showing me is that definitely where you're living now in the environment that you're in, it is coming to a close. So you haven't imagined it. It is time now to make some very drastic changes in your life and to, I think, be open and ready to go wherever the universe wants to send you. Now, having said that, I don't think that's going to happen next week. I still think there's a little bit of waiting time before we get the real definite message of this is where I'm meant to be. It's like you won't be able to mistake it. You won't miss it. It's like what you need to do at the moment is just keep going on with your life. Don't sort of try and get bogged down in what's the next step? Where am I supposed to be going? What am I supposed to be doing? Because what we actually do then is it's like we dam up the energy and we block it and we can't then get any inspiration or any answers. They were showing me that there will be a move and there will be a change, but I don't think it's going to be till the early part of the new year. So having said that, again, I want to sort of just tell you, let's just, get on with day-to-day living and just allow yourself to settle. In as much as you know that there's change coming, you've already established that, you don't know where you're going, so let's just enjoy what we've got. I keep feeling it's going to be, if you were to look at it from the southern side of a map, if you were to look at a globe from sort of with having Australia down the bottom, then I feel you're going to be going northeast of where you are now. So I know that's a broad description to sort of say where you're going, and I know Florida's on the coast. I still feel it's going to be on a coastal sort of area, but I'd sort of like to sort of take you north of there. So if I was looking at it from Australia, it's northeast. So it's something north of Florida, but it's not what I'm seeing as a major city. It's busy, but it's not super busy. Do you know what I mean? My producers just put up, it could be Georgia, South Carolina. It's very helpful that North Carolina. It's wonderful that I have a producer that helps me with Virginia. And it's one of those sort of areas where I just sort of feel that, you'll be drawn to it. It's like, I don't know that you're a prolific dreamer or if you are that you don't remember them, but there will be something that will either come to you in a dream or like a dreamlike state. You could be busy working and all of a sudden it's like you get taken off into this other universe and you sort of see, oh, that's where I'm going. I've seen, the state of, and you sort of think to yourself, oh, okay, that must be the answer. So just put that to one side and then see what else manifests. But when I went to say that, I was going to say to you, I see the state of Georgia. Now, look, I'm not definitely saying that's where you're going. That might have just been what my guides gave to me to share with you as an example of, this is what you're going to get. You're going to see the visual map of that. So let's not take that as gospel. But I do know that you will know where you're going. Oh, yes, my producer's putting up on the screen that it could be Atlanta in Georgia. Well, that's a possibility. I remember watching Matt Lockett. He was in Atlanta. But I just sort of feel that by about March, or Savannah, I just sort of feel by about March, you know exactly where you're going and what you need to be doing, and it's all very, very crystal clear for you by then. So it's good. So I feel that that's where we need to leave it, but I know that you're going to make the right decision. You're really in tune with what's going on in your life, and that's really, really good. So enjoy the time where you are now and just get ready for the major changes that are coming next year, and I wish you luck. So we're going to go to Stephanie now in Bethlehem in Pennsylvania. Are you there, Stephanie?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Do you have a question I can work with, please, Stephanie?
Yes. I wanted to know. I wanted some insight about my career.
Okay, Stephanie.
And about about career and about finances
Okay,
and
so
where I'm going.
Career and finances, funnily enough, seem to go together, don't they? If we don't have enough finances coming in from our career, it can make everything very, very tricky. The first thing that they were sharing with me, Stephanie, is the fact that I feel that you feel as if you've been in a bit of a rut, and it's been that way since about May, June this year. Is that how you've been feeling?
A little bit.
Yeah, and they're showing me that energy of that feeling is going to intensify a little bit more yet before we actually get some clear direction on what the next step is. So it's like we've just put the saucepan on the gas, but it's not even lukewarm yet. We've got to wait for it to get to boiling point, you know what I mean, before we add the next ingredient. So if you look at your life like that, it's only lukewarm at the moment. We've got to allow it to get to boiling point before we add the next thing, or we look at what the next change is. I don't feel uncomfortable with the job that you've got. I just don't feel that it's sort of
uncomfortable with what? I'm sorry, you feel uncomfortable with what?
I said, I don't feel uncomfortable with the job that you've got.
Okay.
I think you're more bored than anything with it. I don't think that it's necessarily the wrong job. I just feel that you could do so much more. I think that's what the problem is.
Okay.
So by having said that, I feel we've got to look at, if you're going to change jobs or change careers, we need to make sure that you know exactly what it is that you're aiming for, and do you have enough skills in your skill set to be able to make that happen. And I think that there needs to be some little bit more training or an upgrading of a skill before we make a change. Again, I want to come back to, I don't know that there's going to be a change for you, Stephanie, before the end of this year. I'm sort of feeling more towards the early part of the new year and the first 3 months of the new year, where I feel then that's when everything's at its strongest as far as a job change or a career change coming up for you. With that, I think is going to come more money. But I'm going to say to you that even if we had a lot more money to throw at things at the moment, I still don't think we'd get instant answers. I still don't think we'd get everything sorted out yesterday. I think the major thing here is that you've got to sit down and take yourself in hand and look at where your spending's going. It's not so much that you don't have enough money. It's sort of like it's going all different directions, and I think we need to get a little bit more control of it and sort of take control of your finances and make sure that you're making sure that your money's starting to work for you. And then I think you'll start to feel as if things are progressing and you're starting to achieve what you want to achieve in life. It hasn't been an easy year. It's been a year where you haven't really been able to get a bit of a run on. You know, every time you think you're going somewhere, something else has come in and sort of, you know, taken you off course. So it hasn't been the easiest of years, and particularly even on a financial level, when you've got a little bit of traction going, then you got an unexpected bill or something broke down, and that sort of took, you know, right back to square one again. So that won't be that way next year. So I do feel that, you know, you've been doing the right thing. It's just that I want to see you sort of be a little bit more diligent as we head towards the end of the year and keep your spending in check.
Okay, and do you see anyone around me, like any past family members that crossed over? Any explanation? I have an unexplainable passing of a relative. Like, do you see any guide, any like relief from all the stuff that I've been going through? Like you said, in the later part of the 3 months of the next year, like, do you see any success? Like, I feel like I'm chiseling at things and it's just not happening. I'm all over the place right now, but that's what I'm talking about. Any guide? Is there a guide that I can be looking for? Some symbol, anything?
Okay, look, your guides change constantly. There's no one person that's passed over from the family member to a close friend or whatever that becomes the number one person that takes care of you or guides you or helps you. They can change sort of constantly. So there's no one particular person you should be looking for. So this person that passed over sort of quite mysteriously, was that a male?
Yes.
Because they're showing me that they don't have the answers either. There's 2 question marks. That's what they've shared with me. There was 2 question marks around their passing that are yet to be answered. And it's like they don't have an answer either to be able to share with you. I'm not saying you won't get the answers. I'm just saying they don't have the answers themselves to share with you. And sometimes that happens if the person is taken quickly. They don't always know the whole extent of what the circumstances were that led to their passing, particularly if it was an uncomfortable sort of situation. They might be blocked from seeing that. And it's not something that you and I can sort of begin to understand. It's just sometimes people sort of are just taken without them being able to see what's going on around them on the physical level when they cross over to the other side. What I can suggest to you is that if you have a particular question or an issue in your life that you want answered, don't direct it to any one particular person on the other side. What I want you to do is have a conversation out aloud prior to your going to sleep and ask whoever has got the answer to put the answer to the question in your mind first thing in the morning, so that when you wake up in the morning and your first thought, as obscure, as random, as peculiar as it might seem, write it down, because that will be a piece to that puzzle, to that question or that situation that you asked. You've got to remember that they can't control us from the other side. All they can do is give us little pieces to information, but they can't give us all the answers. That's up to us, because that would be seen as being controlling. I did pick up there was the male that we talked about, but I also felt there was 2 females strongly around you at the moment that seem to be sort of get to where you need to go. So it's like, let's try and not look too far ahead. Let's look at what we need to do today. And then tomorrow, when we get to tomorrow, let's look at what we need to achieve in that day and do it that way. And I think it'll be more manageable, where if we look at the whole big picture of what's going on, it's like, oh dear, I get a bit overwhelmed with everything that needs to be sorted, and where's money going to come from, and how do I deal with this, and how do I deal with that? So let's break it up into more manageable pieces, Stephanie. And by doing that, I think we'll start to feel like we're making some progress. But I know that 2020 is going to be a much better year for you than 2019 was. And I know that you've got a lot of divine guidance and help coming from the other side. You've just got to believe in it. Put the pieces together, and sometimes the pieces to the jigsaw just need to be laid out in front of you. They don't always come together in interconnecting pieces. Sometimes we get one piece from one part of the puzzle.
Okay, do you have a name of the women or any initial of?
No, darling, they never share names with me, and they didn't give me anything else other than they were female. I only saw them from the back view. I couldn't even tell you what colour hair they had. They were just showing me or giving me that their energy was there and they were helping you. That's all they were giving me. So I can only give you what they give me.
Okay.
Okay, sweet.
All right, and what about love? What about like romance and things of that nature? Do you see anything coming or anything about?
I do see romance coming, but I don't think it's going to be in the first half of next year, Stephanie. I think it's going to be, we need to sort out these other areas first. Unfortunately, sweetie, we've come to the end of the show, so we're going to have to leave it there, Stephanie. So I wish you every success with the things that are going on in your life. So on next week's show, we'll do it all again. We'll have our Simply Tarot card of the week, the candle of the week. We'll take a couple of callers and we'll have our little glimpse around the universe. So I hope that this next week is a lot calmer for you now that we have the full moon is sort of well and truly behind us and we're starting to move towards. But don't forget about Venus conjunct Mercury or holding hands with Mercury and Scorpio. If you've got any sort of intense communication that you need to talk about with your lovers or your loved ones or your children or family members or even co-workers, just tread carefully, because it's the time to sort of be considerate of everybody else and not be in too much of a hurry to try and sort out everything yesterday. We have the luxury of time on our side at the moment. We can just sort of all breathe a little bit easier and just sort of take our time with things. You know, formulate what we need to say maybe, not necessarily is it the time to open our mouths. So until next week, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic, sensational week. Be kind to each other. Don't forget to bring some music into your life. Music, I think, is food for the soul, and I think we could all do with a little bit more music, uplifting, positive music in our lives. And, you know, there's many, many beautiful artists out there that I'm sure you can put on the turntable and really enjoy. So until next week, bye for now.
Cats and kittens, welcome to Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic, which happens to be me because it's my show, but it's also your show. So I'm glad you're here, and thanks for stopping by. We're rocking kind of a denim, kind of Barbie in Pisces over this past weekend, which made Pisces people crazy, and people around them amused, superior, and also crazy. But it was a very, very interesting, kind of life-changing full moon. So, and if your life wasn't changed, hold on, it will be. So really happy y'all could make it today. We're going to, and by y'all, I mean you, all of you. And we're going to start out with doing this psychic weather today. Psychic weather. Ooh, we need a little like theme music here. And by psychic weather, I mean not actual weather, but I'm going to pick 3 tarot cards, which are going to oddly accurately describe the rest of the sort of tenor of the week. And by tenor, I mean kind of the feeling of the week. And whenever I say feeling, you have to go like this. Ready? Feeling. Woo! Okay. We do not, and by we, I mean me and you, because you're here too. We do not pick the cards beforehand. We do them totally randomly, which is because random is our way of life here at New York City Celebrity Psychic. And so the first card for what this week is going to be about for you, it's the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man card has to do with change that's real, change you've been working on from the inside out. You know, it's not like the kind of change where you, I don't know, shave your head, put on orange robes, and dance around singing Hare Krishna. It's the kind of change where you have been working on yourself in a real way, and you're starting to see real results in a way maybe you never expected, and in a very good way. This can also mean that somebody around you this week, it might actually be changing for the better. I've seen it in my own life recently, and it can happen. Don't bet the farm on people changing who don't want to, but if you have a farm, but people who actually want to change and take the steps, like going to meetings or going into therapy or meditating, people who take the steps to change will see some change in their lives this week. All right. Awesome. Woo! I love doing that. Oh, cool. The next card, this is interesting. The King of Swords has to do with, it's a couple of things. It's a man in authority, often a lawyer, some sort of professional lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, something like that. It can often be a man who can be, when he's being his best self, he has great advice, he's kind of objective, he has authority. When he's not being his best self, it can be a man around you, maybe an older man, who can be a little critical, often in the name of trying to help. But if there's somebody around you who's offering good advice or is offering good legal advice this week, I'd listen to them. If it's somebody around you who means well but is perhaps being a little overcritical, take their advice with a good intention behind it, and try not to take the critical stuff personally. Sometimes people criticize us because they want us to have a better life than they see us having. They don't always know how to put it. Okay, one last card. I love doing that. So fun. And the last card this week means that a lot of you might be finding yourselves going to a baby shower or a wedding reception or something where people are celebrating some kind of change. some kind of happy change. You might be, if you're a woman, you might be celebrating with other women. So that could be, kind of a bachelorette party. The strippers and beer are on me. It could be, often this has to do with a wedding reception. Sometimes people get engaged when this card is prominent. But it does mean that at the very least, there's probably a party. There's probably going to be food and drink you won't have to pay for. And everybody's going to be celebrating. That's wonderful. I love doing that so much. Hi. And we've got Teresa. And it looks like Chowville, California. Hi, Teresa. I'm glad you could. Chowchilla, excuse me. Chowville's good too. Obviously, I'm hungry. How are you?
I'm good. I'll take you out to eat. We got some good tri-tip places around here.
Oh, cool. I can be there in 4 hours.
Please.
You've got such a great attitude. Okay, my love. So tell me your birthday. You don't have to tell me the date. Don't ask. Don't tell around here. But tell me your birthday because that's how I zoom in on you. And thank you for not criticizing my manicure. Okay. So what's your birthday, my love? Yeah.
8. The 8th.
I got the 8th. I didn't get the 8th of what? So.
Oh, September 8th.
Oh, happy birthday, my love. Cool.
Thank you.
Many historians say that that's the actual birthday of Queen Elizabeth I. So if you find yourself wearing a big, so technically you could order people to have other people's heads chopped off. I wouldn't. Don't tell them to do that. But it's a very powerful day to be born. So I will be very nice to you. So okay, it feels. Well, you have a bunch of questions. Would you like to do work? Would you like to do your love life, your kids, or?
I'll let you take the lead.
Yeah. You have many interests and many things going on in your life. Okay, tell me your question. That works for me.
Okay, so I've been seeing, a lot of not butterflies, but dragonflies, and I've been noticing the number 8 a lot. Like just, you're just out and about, and sometimes you just look, or you get pulled to look at something, and I'm like, oh, there's 8 everywhere. Like, what the heck? And then,
oh my God, I love that you're asking this. Go ahead. Yeah. So dragonflies.
What does it mean for me?
Well, I happen to be a recent expert in this because, let me do a dramatic hair flip here. You ready?
Good job.
Thank you. I just came back from the coloration machine. I seem to have miscommunicated. So dragonflies, I know a lot about right now because over the last few days, they've been following me around like little mofos. I went, I'm a trained shamanista. I spent 2 years training for my shamanistic degree. And that, 275, will get me on the subway. What?
So wonderful. That's great.
Thanks. Well, in shamanism, what we say is that nature communicates with us in ways to bring us messages that kind of help us along our path. So let me tell you about dragonflies and the number 8 because they're intertwined. So you are awesome, and I love this. And you were born in the 8th, including Chinese. The dragonfly is a symbol of transformation. It's also traditionally a symbol of really effing good luck. Really good luck. So we like that. But it's a reassurance. And I'm telling you this because I was in the country for the last week, and this dragonfly, every time I'd go outside, same dragonfly would come and sit on the same damn place for every time I went outside. And I started to think, like, have I taken some sort of hallucinogen and forgotten about it? To which the answer is no, I never have. But so I think that you've been seeing 3 different kinds of dragonflies. It feels to me like you're not just seeing one, you're seeing a couple of different kinds. One of them, to me, represents somebody who has passed but is trying to communicate with you. This feels like, I hope you still have both your parents. But if you don't, it's usually a parent or a grandparent. The dragonfly is also traditionally a symbol of family, of supportive ancestors. So the first So that's one of the kinds of dragonflies you've been seeing. The second kind is specifically to get you through the transformation you're going through right now, because what you're doing is sort of stepping in and out of your power. You'll step in, you'll kind of panic like the rest of us do, run back, and then you'll come back and step sort of into your power, right? Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll just do a meditation for tonight.
Yeah. But you are meditating, and it's working, because I don't usually talk about auras because my roommate here will glare at me. But I'm going to talk about auras with you because yours is changing. It's beautiful. It's very iridescent. It's changing color. And it's saying to me that you're working really hard on yourself, and good for you. That's why we got the Hanged Man card earlier, was to specifically encourage you and everybody else who's working on themselves the way you're working on yourself to keep doing it because it's working. So as you're meditating, you might find that a lot of negative stuff is kind of leaving very fast. But sometimes when old patterns and negative stuff leaves, it feels like part of our identity. And it's like, what am I going to do now? I don't know who to be or what to do because I'm so used to being attached to this. Let it go. Breathe in deeply. Ask your higher power for help. You'll get it. And the dragonfly, the third kind of dragonfly you've been seeing, is specifically to reassure you that this transformation is real. It's lasting. You're coming into your power and strength in a way you almost never have before because you're such a nice person that you've always thought before, like, well, what are people going to think of me? I don't want to make people feel bad about themselves. What if I outgrow them? What if, I start to shine so brightly that other people resent me? What if this means I have, yeah, I'm good, right? And you have been taking care of everybody else specifically for the last 12 years, most especially the last 7 and the last 2.5. And it is time for you to understand. Sorry, I'm talking so fast, but I'm a New Yorker and I've got a lot of information to give you. It's time for you to understand that the more you shine, the more everybody else around you shines or shones or sheens or something, shines. And the more you claim your power, the more you give people around you permission to claim their power. So as you heal yourself, you heal everybody around you. And as the Buddhists say, you heal your family 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. No pressure. And the number oh, good. I mean, you're only healing 14 generations. It's okay. Breathe deep. The other thing is number 8. If you put the number 8 in his side, I'm just going to keep doing this. I think I'm hypnotized. Please stop me now. Okay. The number 8 on his side is infinity. It feels to me like you've always had a talent for things like prayer and meditation, but only recently have you been taking your ability to plug into the great love, the big infinity, seriously. And you're very good at it. The number 8 in Kundalini numerology, which I also teach Kundalini yoga. When do I have time to lie around and drink wine, you ask? Well, so number 8 in Kundalini is healing, and girl's got to have a hobby, and I'm not good at knitting. Number 8 is a reassurance that you're on the right path, that the infinite, you're in line with the infinite. The more that you meditate, the more that you ask for help, the more you're going to get it. Something is happening in your life where you built up so much darn good karma by being a really consciously good person. You really have. Is that a dog in the background?
No, that's my 3-year-old.
Oh, that's so cute. What's his name?
Bobby. I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. So, your 7 and 2 mark is pretty fun.
I bet they're adorable.
They are. I love them dearly.
By the way, if somebody tells you that the 7-year-old has some kind of disability or they're dyslexic or something like that, actually what they have is a way of looking at the world that's unusual and valuable. So if you've been told like your 7-year-old has ADD or something, I mean, I'm the queen of ADD, obviously. If ADD was people, I'd be China. But your 7-year-old they're both very bright kids. And Bobby's very visual. He's got a very, very good visual memory. They're both really fast learners. And your older one has an ability to think in both an abstract way and in a concrete way. So he's good at problem solving, unless it's a girl. No, I'm not sure. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. But she's very good at problem solving, and she's very good at like creative and abstract thought. You got some good kids there. Nice work.
Hey.
So the 7-year-old is going into a different kind of school. I don't know if she's she's being put in a gift.
Actually, we're moving. Yes.
Yes.
How's that going to go?
That's the right move. Yeah.
Oh,
you're doing the right stuff. Don't worry. Oh my gosh, don't worry. She's a pretty name. 2-syllable name? S-H somewhere in there? Okay. T-H, whatever. At least I got the 2-syllable. Beautiful name. I love that name. And Robert is like, such a nice, dignified name for a little boy. You're going to be fine. Keep meditating. Keep, whatever form of prayer works for you. You're really doing well. Trust your instincts, okay? And you've got some awesome kids. I love them. So I'm really glad you called. Stay in touch and let me know how you're doing, because the next 2 months are going to seem challenging, but that's just because you have a huge amount of growth. But you're a badass, girl. You can do this.
What's my gift?
And
what do I work on? I said, what's my gift? What do I work on?
You've got 2 gifts. One gift is you have the gift of practical empathy. In a way, you're quite psychic. You know what other people are thinking and feeling. Trust that. It's very useful for you. You're creative and you get stuff done. Those are 2 things that don't go together very often. You may not, you beat yourself up a lot because you think you don't do enough, but actually you do twice as much in one day as, for instance, I get done in a week and a half. So you're very good at managing people without them knowing that they're being managed. You'd be a really terrific human resources person, very good in any kind of admin that also involves people management. You're very, very skilled with people. Your practical empathy makes that a real gold mine of a gift. You're also good at crafts, but and you're a good baker. I want a cookie. So
I'll make you one in the ring.
Oh my God, that's my favorite. You're psychic. Oh. The last thing I'm going to say is you're a really good mom. You are a really good mom because you don't impose what you want on your kids. You let them be who they are. You reflect who they are back to them accurately and lovingly. Yes, I think you're awesome. I really do. And you're seeing 8s as a way of reminding you that spirit, infinity, the big love, whatever you want to call it, is on your side. On your side. Every time you see that number, it means it's a reassurance that you're being taken care of and everything's going as it should right now. And that's down to you. So rock on with your badass self, girl. So,
I love you.
Awesome.
I'm so glad we met tonight.
Me too. I'm on. My name is Perry. I don't know if it's on your screen. Perry, P-E-R-I. Perry, like Periwinkle. Lyons, like L-Y-O-N-S. Perry Lyons. And contact me on Facebook. Let me know how you're doing. I always write back eventually within 2 weeks. So we've got 8 minutes left. You're in my meditations. I'm going to be sending you all sorts of golden good light and possibly cash. And just keep in touch. And you're going to be fine. Stuff is going great.
Playing lotto and I'm not winning.
That's good.
It's a different lotto.
Try it. Try it. Yeah, you're winning life lotto. It's better. All right, my love.
Yeah, it's way better.
Let me know how you're doing. Blessings too. Blessings and dragonflies are the best good fortune sign there is. You're doing great. Okay?
Oh,
stay in touch.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
All right, babe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, that was so much fun. Okay, who's our next caller? My producer put it up on the screen. Hey, Pat. Oh, I love that name. Hi, Patty. Where are you calling from? What's your birthday? Hi.
Hello.
Hi, it's Perry. How are you?
Hi. Okay.
Hi. Oh, you, good. And
My birthday is December 12th.
Oh, very good day. We like that a lot. Okay, whoa, you've been through a lot of crap recently. Even though you live in Connecticut.
No, I live in Frankfort, Delaware.
Oh, I just come back from Delaware. I was in Lewis. Love Delaware. Sorry, my producer screwed up and put Connecticut. Wow. Boy, you've been... It's not been easy lately. Well, the first thing that I want to tell you is the worst is over. All that crap you've been through, especially for the last 9 months. Am I right? Has this been a really hard time?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for the losses you've been through, and I'm sorry that you've had to be brave and take responsibility when nobody around you is doing that. Having been through something similar myself, I can tell you, first of all, it doesn't seem like you're going to get rewarded. Things have been very unfair for a while now with you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that sucks, and I'm sorry. I just want you to know that I see that, and the worst is over. I know it doesn't seem like it because something's coming up in about 10 to 11 days that you're a little scared of, but that's weirdly going to work in your favor. For once, things are going to start working out in your favor, starting like in the next couple of days. I don't know if this is a court date or something you're worried about, but try not to worry. Just breathe into the knowledge that that's going to be okay. Whew. Boy, you've been through a lot of unfairness, and it feels like, I mean, stop me if I'm wrong, but have the people who like traditionally should be supporting you and helping you like not been and instead piling on? Is that right?
Yes.
You know, I'm going to come back to Delaware and punch them for you. You're a really good person and you deserve better than this, and you will get it. The other thing that's coming up for you in the next couple of months is an unexpected thing in terms of like employment or money. You have not gotten the right recognition, and you've been in employment in just these difficult situations where, you know, that old expression, don't let people know you're good at digging ditches because they'll give you more ditches to dig. You were in a work situation where you proved you were really good and really responsible, so they just gave you more work and not more money. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Gosh. All right, let's change up the energy around you. This is the magic. I'm going to shake my magic cheap charm bracelets at you. And I'm not making light of your situation, but I do feel that one of the reasons you called today was so I could tell you that things are going to get better and fast.
Yeah.
Stop relying, stop expecting the people. It feels like a couple of family members and maybe some extended family members and one other person who acts like a family member but isn't. Stop expecting them to help you. They're not going to. It's a waste of energy right now. They'll come back around when you're doing better because that's unfortunately human nature. You're going to be doing better within the next couple of weeks. Let me grab a card for you. Also, how are your kids doing? Or kid? There's one you're worried about. Is that correct?
I have quite a few of them.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, good for you.
I have.
Do you know how many?
And I have two grandchildren that are living with me.
It feels like you're worried about one of the grandchildren. But the situation you're worried about is not anything to do with the grandkid. The behavior stuff will start working out because there's something to do with a court case around one of the parents that's going to work out, and that child's going to calm down and things are going to be better. But man, you've been holding everybody up. Holy mackerel. Bless you, my child. Thank you for all you've done for everybody. If nobody else is going to thank you, I'm bloody well going to thank you. Thank you. It looks like there's some kind of favorable, a guy who's kind of on your side. I'm not sure this is your husband. It might be your father. Oh, no, it's not your father. Somebody is coming in to help you. What? Yeah?
It's a brother from another mother.
Thank you, because it feels like a relative, but it isn't. Thank God for him. He's a really good guy. Wow. And you can trust him. And sometimes angels appear in packages that look a little unexpected. Now, I'm getting this card, and it's upside down. We've got 2 minutes, so I'm going to talk really fast because I'm a New Yorker, and I've got a lot of info for you. So this card right side up means like, oh my gosh, she is carrying so much. She's carrying all of these things. Don't look at my nail. Look at my nice fake diamond ring. But this card is, the person carrying these feels like, oh, I'm at the end of my rope. I'm going to fall over and drop all of these wands. However, when you get this card upside down, somebody comes in just when you're really feeling like, I am so overwhelmed. I don't know my butt from my elbow. And somebody's coming in to help with this. It's this guy. Also, there's a woman, it might be his daughter, or it might be a cousin of yours. There's a woman who's younger than him coming in to help. You've gotten so like, I can't accept help right now. I'm too busy. I'm too proud. Let people help you. You deserve it. And everything is changing for the better right now. And I'm not just saying that. Really not. I've got 60 seconds. This card means that you have been patient. You have suffered, and the suffering is coming to an end. And there is actually a really good thing coming up. I can feel this. Yeah, you've got the Ace of Wands, which is the beginning of a new cycle of help, a new cycle of hope, and a new cycle where everybody's getting along, and you start to get some of the recognition and help and gratitude that you deserve. The worst is over. Get through this thing in like 12 days or 2 weeks or whatever it is. You're going to be fine. Let me know how you're doing. You deserve all the support you can get. And really, God bless you. You've been a fantastic person. I wish we had more people like you. So, does that sound good, Patty? Anything else you need?
I need to know who keeps giving me the number 143.
That's your mom. Means I love you. Or, no, your mom's still here. It's your grandmother, sorry. It's a woman who's passed. No. 143 means I love you. I love you. I got that in my worst time in my life. It kept showing up in my cell phone before like cell phones were even a thing. I had no idea what it was. It means that you're loved, you're being supported by both your higher power, by God, and a relative who's passed, who's a woman who's on your side, who's helping you actively.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio now on Moonstruck TV. Enlightening television.
Good evening, everyone. How are we tonight? Oh my goodness, I am not on the Gold Coast. I am in Lismore, New South Wales. I'm actually 2 hours over the border from Queensland, and at my mum's place. And yeah, I decided I don't get to see her often as she's works a lot and I work. So it's really nice to catch up with her. But the main reason for me being down here this weekend is I'm actually working. I'm booked in with lots of readings. And so my service is to provide guidance, insight, connect loved ones to anyone that's passed over. And so far I've had an amazing day, a busy day. So that's been my week, my day actually. But I've actually had a really a big week in change. There's lots of change happening around my family life at the moment. Change can be scary. It can be frightening. It also can cause a lot of emotions, lots of heartache. But, change is so good for all of us. And in order for us to grow, to learn, to move forward, to create movement in life, we do need to get out of our comfort zones, to face our fears, take responsibility for our actions, and just take responsibility for, for things that, if things aren't right, then we need to own up to them and be honest with our feelings. So it's been a really tough week for me, but I've noticed that it's not just myself. I've had lots of clients that have been going through some rough times, with relationships, careers, with their children, finance. So it seems to be, I think, because we had the full moon last weekend, so there's lots of stuff that, I've been letting go of, that's just been weighing down and playing on my mind. And I've noticed that a lot with my clients, that, we have been holding on to a lot of things that just weigh us down, and, just acknowledging those feelings and acknowledging the situations that, you may find yourself in, and knowing that it's not working out or things just don't feel right. It's good to express those and just see what can change. So I've actually, so change is huge. And so I found this quote online. I'm always looking at quotes that resonate with my heart, and I do like to share. And the quote that I came across was the 3 C's in life: choice, chance, and change. So you must make the choice to take the chance if you want anything in life to change. So I'm taking a big risk in my life at the moment, but it's going to bring a lot more happiness for myself and the people around me. So I do it with, it's something close to me, but it's, I just know that I'm going to be a lot happier, and it's what, what we do. Follow the 3 C's. So we're going to connect to our caller. I'm looking forward to it. So it's Crystal in USA.
Yeah.
Hello, Crystal.
Hello.
How are you? How are you today?
Good. Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How can I help you? I've actually, just before we get into it, I feel like you've got some heartache around your heart chakra at the moment. Is this resonating with you?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so how can I help you tonight?
I just kind of wanted a basic reading, just kind of telling like what's going to go on around me, maybe with my daughter's baby, and
yep.
I don't know if there's anything different coming along.
Yes, okay. So with your daughter's baby, has there been some complications with more so just with the, what I'm seeing is just with the sizing more than the dates as such, more so the sizing, the measurements.
Sorry, what was that?
Has there been any complications with just the estimation on the dates? Something about has there been some concerns around the just the growing of the baby?
No, it's more her heart rate. I just want to know if she's going to be okay.
Yep. Yeah, I just also your daughter is quite stressed at the moment as well, because I feel her heart rate as well. So the more stressed out that she is, and as hard as it is, because it's things that we cannot control, it also, the baby also notices it as well. So
yeah.
what I'm getting at, what I'm seeing is like rest and recovery is. I can see the words in front of me: rest and recovery. So more rest, more recovery time, just to rest up and to take it easy. I see that everything's going to be okay for your daughter as well as your baby, your granddaughter coming along. It's just rest and recovery. I keep seeing lots of rest, feet up, and I just feel like there's lots of anxiety around the unknown. But I see that everything's going to be okay. It's just that the more stressed out, the more stressed out you can be, the more sensitive that the baby is tuning into.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I keep seeing. I'm also keep seeing that if your daughter's feet are really swollen, if she's had high blood pressure, because I'm really drawn to the swelling around her feet. I've had trouble breathing, so if she's got any implications or any kind of concerns around her breathing, your daughter, it could also
Around
be
your
just
what?
anxiety. Your daughter's lungs. I'm just breathing. I've got breathing issues.
Okay.
I just see that it's just anxiety, fear of the future and, fear of, what's going to happen, but everything's going to be okay. I keep just seeing rest and recovery, rest, rest, rest.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, and I'm also really drawn to, obviously, the fluid in your daughter's feet, but what I'm also seeing is there's lots of stress around her, like in her environment, like people around her. Does this resonate?
Yeah.
Because I keep seeing there's lots of stress around her that she cannot control, but there's a lot going on in her life at the moment, which makes it really hard for her to rest up.
Yeah, it is. She's having a rough time.
No, not at all. She also has another child. Is that correct? 'Cause I keep seeing another child around her.
No, this is her first one. Oh wait, she had a miscarriage.
Yep. Yes, okay, because that's why, because there's somebody really close, I can see a child around her, so that would make sense to me why I keep seeing another child around her. Yes, so I do see that, so she's definitely not alone, and just there's lots of just the environment just around her. I guess change is always good, to make the little changes, making little changes make big differences as well into our health and to our well-being. And so, yeah, basically, and the more she talks to you, the better. I feel like she's, because you're very calm and, like to her, you can really calm her down. So I see that her communicating with you really reassures her that everything's okay as well.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes, and it's definitely a granddaughter. Have you found out, does she know the sex of her child yet?
Yeah, it's a granddaughter. It's my granddaughter.
Okay. Yeah, okay, because, yes, definitely. Because I keep seeing the pink everywhere. I just want to make sure that that's what I was seeing. And I'm also, because it doesn't feel like, is it like 4 months she's got to go? I keep seeing 4 around her.
But what was that?
4 months. Is she 4? What is it? 4, 5. 4 months to go.
Oh,
it's number 4's around her.
With 4?
Yes.
She'll be 3 days old tomorrow. I don't know.
3 days old. Okay, 4. Okay, so I keep seeing 4s. Okay, so she's 3 days. Okay. So I keep seeing number 4 around her. Okay. Sorry, here I thought that your granddaughter wasn't yet born. Sorry, so she is born.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm getting for you is that I keep seeing okay, sorry, that was my fault. I keep seeing a child around you, but I also see that she's I'm getting the number 4. Everything's going to be okay. It's just the environment around her.
Okay.
That was I apologize. I actually really confused that up for you. So, oh my goodness. Everything's going to be okay. It's just to work on the environment and the stress around her at the moment. Okay. Rest and recovery. I also, it's just that sorry?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I just feel like I have breathing issues as well. So that's why, my breathing feels a bit delayed, or even just has there been any sickness in the family?
Brittany, my daughter's got a cold right now where she's having a lot of fluid in her lungs and coughing up stuff.
Okay.
Maybe
So
that.
that makes sense. Yes, definitely. Definitely. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like I literally, I'm having trouble breathing on my lungs, and I feel like I'm suffocating, just that, it's hard to breathe. Yes. So that makes sense to me while I'm tuning into her energy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And with the swelling feet, does anyone have fluid in their feet?
Her feet are a little swollen.
Yeah. Okay. Because I also feel like it's just, because I keep getting fluids. I know fluids, but also rest and recovery, the feet up.
Okay.
Also, just another question with yourself, and I know, are you moving at all? Because I keep seeing there's a change in your movement. There's movement change around you. Are you thinking of moving?
I actually just moved into a place and I don't like it.
Yep. Oh no, that's not. Yeah. Oh, geez. Well, I see there's change around you, change coming your way. I don't feel that you'll last that long because I keep seeing you moving. So it's interesting that you've just moved into a new home, and I can see you moving into another home. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask one more question?
Yep, definitely.
Is there anybody that came to say any messages for me?
I have a gentleman with me, and it's interesting because he keeps showing me, and it's I have a symbol, and whether he's of different like race, color, because I keep seeing a boomerang, and obviously someone that's very close to your heart. It's interesting. I get a boomerang, and it's like somebody that's always around you, but I get a male energy. I have a male energy around me at the moment. He's also feel like he wasn't like age. There was health issues. There wasn't. There was he's not old, but he's not young either. So he's in, whether he's in his 50s.
In his 60s?
Yeah, maybe even the 60s, but that's, because he's not old at all. Even 60s aren't old. And he's very much, does this resonate with you? Because he's showing me these outside. He's also showing me a boomerang, but whether he was really good with his hands and making things out of wood.
I don't know.
But I definitely have this gentleman here, and he's got this beautiful energy. If anything, a big heart, a big giver, and was always, very, like he's very protective and always went out of his way for others.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost a boyfriend, and he was in his late 40s.
Yep. Okay. So it's even that, it's still pretty young. And can you resonate with the making wood, making things out of wood?
I can't. No, not. I can't resonate that. I had a grandpa who would build wood clocks.
Yep. Okay. Because I keep seeing he's really good with his hands, a very handy man, but very skillful.
Yeah. That would probably be him.
Yeah, because I definitely have someone around, and he's like young in age, but very quite fit, very, very much, he's just very protective and really, really went out of his way to give to others.
Nice. Thank you.
That's okay, Crystal. It was lovely to connect with you. I would love for you to follow me on Gemma Spirit World, my Facebook page.
Yeah, I will. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. We have Annette, from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. How are you?
Hi, great, thank you.
Annette.
Excited to be here.
Wow. Oh, it's lovely to hear your voice. It's actually, you have a lot of vibrancy in your energy at the moment. You have you're full of life.
I'm just so excited because I really miss a lot of people, and the only chance I really get is I always think about getting a reading, and it just means everything to me.
Yeah, wow. Well, definitely. Let's see what we can do. What would you like me to look like? What would you like me to see what's in your life? What kind of guidance would you like me to look into for
Like
you?
anything like from the spirit world, if there's anybody coming through.
Yep. Just a question. I know it's not in regards to the spirit world, but are you afraid of spiders? Because I've got spiders everywhere.
Wow. We get lots of spiders in our house and outside of our house, yes.
Oh no. I can see them. They're like, yeah, everywhere. So it's like, oh my goodness.
They're like wolf spiders.
Yeah.
I've been getting those lately in our house.
Oh wow, you do have a lot of them, that's for sure. Okay, so let me just see for you who else is here in the room. Apart from the spiders, I've actually got somebody here, and what they're showing me, I'm just trying to tune in, but there's someone around musical, a piano. I'm actually seeing a piano. If you have anyone in spirit that used to play the piano?
Not that I know of.
Okay, because I've got
my son used to do that when he was really young.
Yeah,
he used to
I've
play
got
the
someone
piano.
here, and passed over. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, because I've got someone here showing me the piano. I've also, let me just see if he can show me a little bit more. He doesn't, because generally when I have loved ones that drop in, they like to express, just depending if they communicated a lot, but he's not communicating a lot to me. He may have been the kind of person that didn't communicate a lot when he was living. Is that correct? Was he not one for communicating a lot, expressing himself?
Well, he was pretty kind. Like he talked to me quite a bit, but I didn't hear from him the next day.
Okay. Was he like the quiet person? Like not only?
Yes, he was.
Like, okay. Yeah, because I have this energy around me, and definitely I feel like it's him because with the piano, but he's not saying too much words, and if anything, he's just showing me more images, which is fine because obviously that's the way he would like to communicate with me to get to you. But he just lets me know he wasn't one for, it took a lot for him to trust people for him to open up and to communicate with.
Okay.
He's also letting me know, like, it's interesting because I've also have someone that's definitely him, but did he used to fly kites when he was younger? I've got flying kites.
Yeah, not too often.
Okay, but he had done it when he was younger because he's showing me flying kites in the backyard or in the open field. I can see these kites going up in the air.
Oh. Not very often, no.
Okay, so he's also showing me, do you have a blue car? Or it may not a car. There's something going on with a car, but I'm more drawn to the colour blue.
I used to have a blue car.
Okay. Okay, so that could be why and with that car, have you only just recently got this car? Like the car that you have now, how long ago was the blue car when you had the blue car?
That was about 10 years ago.
Okay, it's a very long time. Oh my goodness. Okay. I keep seeing the 31st, does the 31st month of anything resonate with you for a birthday or anniversary? 31st, I keep seeing.
The 31st of what? Sorry.
Yeah, 31, just 3-1. I don't have a month, I just have the 31st.
Oh, I have a brother that's birthday's the 31st.
Okay, so that's probably because it feels like it's more around a birthday, the 31st. I'm also very drawn to like animals outside, like sheep, as whether it was on a farm as well. I'm really drawn to cattle, farm animals. Can you resonate with this environment, outdoor area?
Yeah, my grandfather owned a farm. But he owns a big farm,
Okay.
like a 500-acre farm.
Wow.
And they have cattle.
Yeah, so that's what I keep seeing as well.
Wow.
Also, let me see what else is coming through. It's just, it just feels like the open space. Open space is so much better than being inside. I just want to be outside around water, even to see like a creek with rocks and water. I'm really drawn to the creek, whether it was something that you used to play in when you were younger. It's like a water hole. I'm really drawn to a water hole. Lots of flowers as well, I keep seeing. But it just feels like you used to just drive, unless you enjoy driving, because I see lots of driving around you as well.
Yeah, we drive a lot. We go on a lot of drives, me and my family.
Okay, so that's showing me. Okay, great, because that's what I'm seeing. Lots of driving. Also, are you planning on going on a holiday soon? Because I keep seeing holiday.
Not that I know of.
Okay, so you've definitely got a holiday coming up, because I just see holiday, no destination confirmed yet, because it feels like it's a decision between two locations.
Okay. Interesting.
Also, I'm really drawn to, are you the kind of person that would wear like gumboots or boots?
Yes.
Yes, because that's what I'm really drawn to, gumboots or your boots. Unless you've like also do you have a lot of them? I'm trying to understand why I'm being shown your gumboots or boots.
No, I just have one pair of boots.
Okay. And because you're very much outdoors, though, you prefer to be outdoors than indoors. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, we go for a lot of drives.
Yeah.
I kind of like both.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like, it's like, when you drive and you see the scenery of different locations. I get
we
that
do that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I see as I see through your eyes. I just have that inner peace.
I'm thinking of a lot of gardening.
Yeah, I love it. And that's why I keep seeing flowers around you as well.
Yeah, I made a memorial garden in memory of my son.
Yep.
And I try to keep myself busy.
Yep, definitely. And you're always doing lots with your hands. You're always on the go. It's amazing what a lot of people can experience by looking through your eyes. You take in a lot of things. You're very grateful for everything that you have, and you have a lot of gratitude. But you do take in a lot of things. Like, you're very observant.
Thank you.
And I feel your heart. You give a lot, and it's beautiful to see that. It's not just to others, but to nature and to animals. Like, you really give your time and love to a lot of things.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any other questions? I'm just seeing what else will pop through.
I'm wondering if anybody else is coming through in the spirit world. Like, if there's anybody.
I do have someone that's younger.
Or anything? Because I just had someone pass away.
Yep, okay, but I have someone younger coming through. Like,
okay.
Younger. Have you had any children? Someone youngish has come through.
Yes.
Okay. I do have them around me at the moment, and they're reaching out for a big hug. That's, to let them know that they're okay. They have animals around them, pets and loved ones. But when I look around everyone, I just see everyone hugging. So there's lots of love and support, and just there's everyone comforting one another. It feels really nice.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, lovely. We need to wrap. Oh, I'm glad, because that's who I have, and I'm so sorry to cut this short, but our time is up. But I would love for you to follow me on Gemma Spirit World on my Facebook page so we can connect again.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
That's okay. And your loved ones are always around looking, and they're always around you. I can hear it. I can see them.
Sounds just like my son Brandon.
Yes, definitely. Someone very close to you, to your heart. is there.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Bye. Okay, thank you for everyone, for the two beautiful ladies, for connecting with me tonight on A1R Psychic Radio. I wish everyone a great weekend, and I look forward to connecting with you when I'm back on the Gold Coast for next week. So thank you.
Well, hello. You are listening to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. This is Rebecca Urich with the High Frequency Channel, and you are tuning in for transformation. I want to share a story. I have a yoga student that came in to visit me, and she had just returned back from Italy, where she went and saw the statue of David, the Michelangelo David. And she said that when she was waiting in line, it was one of those things where everybody kind of wants to go see the statue of David, but was it going to be overhyped? One of those movies that you go see and everybody is like, oh my gosh, that movie is so amazing. And then you go see it and you're like, it was okay. Well, she said that by the time she got to the front of the line and she was standing in front of the statue of David, she was having an out-of-body experience. She said, it really does. It does. It is worth going to see. And the reason I'm telling you this is because Michelangelo, when he talked about carving the bust of David, he started off with a big block of marble. And at first, he had to chip away big chunks, right? Big chunks, until he could finally refine and really get into the detail with the statue of David. And so that David could shine through, so that when my yoga student, went to go see the statue of David and she literally had an out-of-body experience, Michelangelo talks about how he chipped away everything that was not David to reveal this radiant and beautiful, glowing energy all its own sculpture. And this is what we all are. We all are a David, or you can say we are all a Steve Jobs or a Mother Teresa or an Oprah or a Gandhi. We just have a lot of stuff holding us back, a lot of stuff that we feel is emotionally challenging, our past, our scars, our wounds, things that are not us. And so when we begin to chip away, sometimes we have to start with the big chunks, and then slowly over time we start to refine and we get into the details and we create this beautiful we find this beautiful, radiant life underneath all of our stuff going on. And so that is really what I do as a coach. I am launching a new program. It's really affordable. I'm making it very easy for you to join. And you can go to thehighfrequencychannel.com or RebeccaUrick.com and check out this program. What I would love to do and what I love to do is give people their power back. So people come to me for readings, and I love that, and I appreciate it, and I hope I take good care of you, and my intention is to take good care of you. But what I really love that comes from my heart is actually giving you your power back so that you can do and you can navigate your life on your own, so that you can begin to chip away, so that you can reveal this beautiful and radiant self underneath kind of this yucky stuff. And so, where does that yucky stuff come from? It comes from our outdated caveman survival hardware or mechanisms, what we call the ego or the fight or flight. It's our ancient reptilian brain. And how it's holding us back now. So back in the day, we needed it. We needed it to run away from the lion that was going to eat us, from being attacked by, whatever. And so what happens is your body begins to process sugar so that it can access huge amounts of energy and bring that energy to the arms and legs so it can run from whatever we are running from. But then it's designed to go back into rest and digest so that we can rest. And if you look at nature, when you see a deer running from something, right? And then they get away from it and then they stop and then you see them, they start to eat again. Our problem is in our modern world is that we are holding on to that, that person or that thing that we're trying to run from is the coworker that sits next to us, or our sister that is causing us trouble, or whatever that might be, the driver that's crazy behind us. And so it's harder for us to let go of it. It's harder for us to come back into our rest and digest, right? So when you begin to learn how, so right now in humanity, it is about learning how to work with our old reptilian brain, our outdated caveman survival hardware, the fight or flight. It's about how and the tools that you need, learning about our superhuman powers, learning how to get into the flow with the laws of nature, with the laws of the universe, so that you can achieve full spectrum wealth in your life. And that means not just a couple areas in your life, but all areas in your life. So if you look right now, you may look around and go, you know what? I love my relationships are fabulous and my job is fabulous. And then you go, but I don't make any money and I really don't have time for any vacations or anything really. And what you desire is to be able to have that time to spend with your family and friends, or to have a career that you love and to make good money, right? So what would full spectrum wealth look like for you? And I've talked to you about designing the life that you would love to live and how important that is. But joining a program, investing in yourself, investing your time and investing money. Now, I'm not asking a lot of money for this coaching program, which I'm extremely excited about. I really want to help lots of people. And so therefore, I'm making it extremely affordable. And you will receive inspiration, motivation. You will have homework, or I call it life work, how to apply this stuff to your life for that week. It's 4 live calls a week, which is fabulous. It's, ongoing. You can cancel anytime. And the program is called How to Become a Channel for Divine Flow. And I would love for you to check it out. Go to RebeccaUrick.com or thehighfrequencychannel.com and check it out. Please feel free to email me or contact me and ask any questions that you would like. And so what happens is, like I was saying, this is the time for how to get there. So if you are feeling in your life that it is time to make changes, if it is time, you are waiting for something more in your life, go and check it out. This is the time for it. This is the time in humanity to begin to release the old, how to release the old, and how to move forward into the life that you would love to live. So in getting out of the rat race, of, even free readings, like getting online and, I go into all these groups and I do free readings and everybody wants free readings. How would you like to just know for yourself, right? But I have to tell you, the drama that we have in our life, the situations, the problems, the circumstances, the ego gets juice from them. The ego loves to eat it up. So in a way, we're kind of addicted to our own drama, right? And so hold on, I'm trying to think of my thought. Yeah, the ego loves the drama. So there is a part of us that is addicted to that. And being broken does get attention. When we talk about our problems, people come and want to listen, and then it infuses them deeper into our DNA, right? I always say, if you talk about what you don't want, you are attracting what you don't want. When you talk about what you do want, you're attracting the things that you do want. So we want to stop talking about our problems and start moving into our future, moving into a life we would love to live. Now, most of us think we are being pushed by our past, propelled by our past, that we are who we are today because of our past. And I am here to tell you, for myself, I am being sucked into my future. So my future is very important to me. What I would love is very important, and it should be for you too. Okay? Because humanity is coming into this, we're having a paradigm shift. We're coming into a new paradigm. So the old paradigm was stick with the crowd, stay congruent with the tribe to help the tribe survive. And now we are moving into your uniqueness and your creativity is what is going to help the tribe survive. Okay? So we are moving from the outer world controlling our inner world, like they did this to me, this happened to me, this outer world thing happened to me, and now I can't do this or I can't do that. We're moving from the outer world affecting our inner world to changing our inner world to change our outer world, right? So you are the point of power in your life. You are the center of your own universe. You are the center of the universe. And you have all these people and things revolving around you. And so you get to decide your life. You get to decide what you want, not the outer world. And that's a really big shift for people, because it does require us to take responsibility for our inner state and learn how to change our state, how to work our inner state so that the outer world doesn't affect our inner world. Because like I said, under all of this stuff is a radiant, beautiful, glowing, successful, powerful human being. Energy being, having a human experience. What experience do you want to be having? And are you having it? And if the answer is no, join me in my program. It is an ongoing program. You can join, you can come in, and you can leave anytime you want. You know, anytime that you need, for as long as you need. Now, I know for myself, I will always have mentors. I will always have partners in believing. I will always have mastermind groups because I know the importance of keeping my mindset clear. So if you are looking for something to help you and you feel drawn to me as a coach, please go to my website, RebeccaUrick.com or thehighfrequencychannel.com and check out my program and sign up for my program. And let's have some fun. Let's change our lives. Let's learn how to get into the flow. Let's learn the tools to handle sticky situations and handle the trauma of our past so that we can move into our future. Our past isn't going to let us live a beautiful life. Our past is going to keep us trapped in the, well, they did this to me, so I can't do that. Or I don't trust them, so I'm not able to do this. Or, you know, I tried that once before and it didn't work for me, right? We want to move past this. We want to move and explore this next level of our life. So if you're ready, join me. I would love to have you. And I want you to know that every single one of you is a Steve Jobs, a Gandhi, an Oprah, a Mother Teresa, whatever you want to say. And I love how Steve Jobs, if you have ever, heard quotes, or he always talked about bending the universe. And that's how he created, all of his Apple products. He would bend the universe to the way he wanted it to be. How would you like to learn how to bend the universe? Right? So join me in my program, How to Become a Channel for Divine Flow. And you can check it out at thehighfrequencychannel.com, at RebeccaUrick.com. Message me if you have any questions about it. And I want to talk to you about why a coach is so important. And I don't know if I've shared this story with you. I always tell my clients I repeat things over and over because repetition is vital, right? The other part of it is you have to give wood to the stove before it will give you heat. You have to sign up for the program before the universe is going to begin to give you things. I go into all these programs and it's like, type yes if you're ready to receive $1 million. Type yes if you're ready to receive money. Type yes. And I'm like, okay, you can type yes until you're blue in the face, but it's not going to come. The universe is not going to just give it to you. You have to take systematic steps toward what you would love, right? Because you don't want to just go buy the big mansion because you can't pay for it, right? So you systematically learn how to build your dreams. And that is what I love to teach people. So like I said, you have to sign the name to the back of your check before the bank will give you the money. You have to sign up for the program in order to learn the tools and have the support, the motivation, the inspiration, and then you can get in alignment with the universe for it to, yes, bring you the money that you need, bring you the relationship that you need, bring you the time that you need to spend with your family and friends, bring you the vacation, whatever it is that you're looking for to bring into your life. So my story and why you need a coach. This is a true story. When we send a rocket ship to the moon, so we get in, let's pretend like we're going to the moon. We get into our rocket ship, we shut that door, and we fire up the engines. And it takes almost 80% of the fuel to start up those engines and then to blast that rocket ship off into the air. It takes 80% of the fuel just to get the rocket ship off the ground. Okay? That's kind of like you signing up for the program and creating your vision and beginning to do this work. It's like you're like excited and you're motivated and you're inspired, right? And then you're sailing through the air. And you're like, oh, this is cool. Like everything is great. Everything is fine. And then you reach the edge of Earth's atmosphere. And if you do not have an extra rocket booster, you will hit the edge of Earth's atmosphere and it will bounce you back down to Earth. This is where the coach comes into play. Have you ever started something up? You're like, I'm going to change my life, whether it be losing weight, like you've lost 20 pounds and then you gain it back. You lose 20 pounds and then you gain it back. Or why people who win the lottery tend to find themselves broke within 3 years, because they don't have the extra rocket booster that is going to propel them through the atmosphere into space and toward the moon. So you really and desperately need that extra rocket booster. Okay? Another reason why you're going to need a coach is because once you get through Earth's atmosphere, this is truth, you will be 99% of the time off course while trying to get to the moon. And you're going to need to tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak and keep tweaking all the way to the moon. So I'm here to help you light the fire, ignite the fire of your dream, and reach for the moon, and we're going to land on Mars. So we are going to take our lives to the next level. And I'm not saying that all of this is like easy peasy pie. Some of it can be challenging. You're going to learn about your paradigms. You're going to learn about your patterns. You may know some of your patterns, but paradigms. And like I said, humanity is going through a paradigm shift. So instead of waiting for the money in order to go on the trip, you are going to start to create the trip and the money will come, right? And I know that sounds scary. And that's true for every other area in your life. For creating everything in your life, it's going to be reversed. And it's scary. But it's fun. And when you get in tune and when you really understand your superhuman powers and your mental faculties, and you understand the laws of the universe, it is going to get easier and easier, and you are going to have a lifelong skill set. You are going to be able to do this over and over and over again in your life. You will become a channel for divine flow. Your whole nervous system, your whole body is going to relax. You are going to move from that place of fight or flight into rest and digest. And then when you need to use the fight or flight, when you need to get out of a situation, or you need to stand up for yourself, or you need it, because we need that. We need it still. It's there. It still works for us. You can use it, and then you can move right back into rest, and digest. So like I'm saying, right now is the time for how to change your life, how to create the reality that you would love. And so please feel free to go to my website, RebeccaUrick.com or thehighfrequencychannel.com, and check out the program. Just read about it. You can always like my page, The High Frequency Channel, like and follow me there. Turn on the notifications so you know when I go live to give lectures or free readings, right? I love to do the free readings, but what I love more is to give you your power back, is to watch you expand. And remember that the life force within you is always seeking greater expression through you as you. So if you aren't taking action steps toward the life that you would love to live, the universe will do something to force you to wake up and move into and start moving toward that life. And when the universe has to do it, it's not fun. It's going to be an accident, an illness, or a divorce, or something that is going to wake you up so that it moves you in the direction of your life. So there are two ways of expanding your life. One is to wait for the accident, or to get a coach, get into a program, begin to systematically take your life to the next level. Please join me. I would love to have you there. Go to my website, thehighfrequencychannel.com or RebeccaUrick.com. Make sure you follow me and on my webpage, The High Frequency Channel. Join me live for free readings and lectures and fun. And I would absolutely love to have you in my program. Like I said, I'm making it very affordable. I want to reach lots and lots of people. I want to make massive change in the world by helping people, motivating them, inspiring them, giving them the tools to create the life that they would love to live. And you guys have been awesome. I love you. My name is Rebecca Urick. I am a dream builder coach, a life mastery consultant, and become a channel for divine flow. You are listening to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. Again, this is Rebecca Urick with the High Frequency Channel. Have a beautiful week. I love you. Namaste.
Hi, welcome to Insights into Consciousness. I'm your host tonight, Anna Olson, here on A1R Radio. Tonight, I'm going to do a free online live reading, and in the interim, before that, I wanted to pull a card for a horoscope. So it's just going to be a random card for a random horoscope that comes up. And I have basically a horoscope. I guess you could call it a cloth with different horoscopes. And I don't look at it, I just set it out. And there's a horoscope that I can just pretty much land on. It's sort of like dropping your finger on a map. but it's more or less the solar system, and it's going to land on one sign, and I'm going to apply the card that I pulled for that sign. So I'm going to shuffle my cards, and we'll see if it's your sign tonight. I pulled the Eight of Swords, and that is a very, well, it has a lot of different meanings to it. So the Eight of Swords, it could mean a bunch of things. I will, first of all, let it land on a sign, which is going to be Capricorn, which is one of my most, I guess it's one of the signs that get along with Virgos the best. So that's one of my signs that I get along with best. So Capricorns. All the Capricorns watching tonight, I have an Eight of Swords. I'm feeling like this is meaning that your power and your personal power and the things that you're choosing and either choosing to do or what direction you want to go in, I feel like you have a lot of options and it's hard to choose which one. Now, this is very common during readings, and that's usually why people come to a reader, is they may have a bunch of different ways that they can go or a bunch of different decisions that they can make with all these different options. And I'm seeing all these Eight Swords representing a different option to continue your, where you want to put your energy, where your energy is going to flow, where you're going to focus in your life. And when we feel kind of pinned against the wall or painted into a corner and there's only a few different ways to get out of this, it can feel a little bit tricky. But this is the universal message that I want to send with this card, that Spirit always has what's best for you in store, and you will always go there. You'll be led to that as long as you're really in tune, you're connecting to higher power, you're really meditating, you're really listening to yourself. Really, it's about finding your own compass and your own intuition about things. And what I like to do as a reader is to confirm that that was the correct choice. Now, sometimes we will have a back and forth where I pick up on all these different options for somebody, and I'll get this energetic and, feeling about it, and we kind of go into all these different options. And basically what we come to is that person making a decision on what they feel is best. And I can tell them, okay, well, if you pick this choice, then down the road, this is how it's going to look. If you pick this choice down the road, this is how it's going to look. So what we do during a reading is we pick all these different options, and I just guide the person into seeing what will happen with each option. Now, this isn't what happens with every single reading, but this is a very common practice, which is also where I incorporate a lot of my life coach training skills in psychology, where we really look at things in a very neutral way, and we say, okay, if you do this, this is what could happen. If you do this, these are the options. This is how it could end up. And is this really what you want for your life? So it's about helping the person pick what they want, not insisting what I think as much, maybe giving my 2 cents, and my experience, but basically letting them come to a decision and their own decision as to what they want for their life and what they're hoping for the outcome that they desire. So I'd like to do an on-air live reading right now for Angela in Ontario. Angela, are you there?
I am, yes.
Hi, how are you tonight?
Hello? I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, I'm great. It's fun to do my show. I had a surgery and I'm like recovering, and I'm just so excited. You're my first reading after my recovery, and so I'm really excited to do your reading tonight.
Nice, excellent. Me too. I'm excited to hear.
Good, yeah. So how can I guide you tonight? What would you like to focus on?
My new relationship.
Okay. Your new relationship, and are you wanting to see if you can, like how this is going to go, or if your instinct is right about this guy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really feeling like he is. Now you give me feedback when I start telling you what I see, because I'm seeing that he is a kind person and he's very well-natured.
Yes.
I would even say he's, what's the word? I don't want to say like jolly. I'm trying to find the word. It's like he's bubbly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm seeing him. Yeah. And for some reason, I'm getting a cherub, almost like he's like a cherub, or this is like a cherub shot an arrow and caught you guys. Or does that ring a bell for you? The cherub and the curly hair,
cherub?
curly white hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what does he look like? Does he have the curly hair, or am I getting it for something else?
No, he has curly white hair. Yep.
Okay. So I'm seeing him, and it's curly white hair. That's so neat. I'm getting that he is very, very charming, and he's supposed to really spread this charming nature. And he's part of I want to say it's almost like he's a tribe of a type of person, a type of human. And they have these great spirits about them, and they're supposed to just kind of spread this positivity that they have inherently.
Right.
Now, that's what I really love that, by the way, because I know a few people who are like that, and they're really fun to be around. Now, the only thing that, I would say, you said that you really want to get some guidance and some insight into him. This is the thing with these types, is that, yes, they're wonderful. They have this great personage about them. They're very positive people, and they really, do spread that loving heart that they have. But everybody has their difficulties, and everybody has their downside. And the only thing that may kind of be, come into play later on is at first, when you're in the beginning part of a relationship, things are exciting and fun, and you're in love, and you're really motivated, and it's so, fun and great. And then what can happen is, after a little while, you'll kind of relax, you'll kind of see each other's, issues, or your different things about your personality. And so I'm getting, would be basically that he may get a little bit lax. His personality is very relaxed. And that I'm getting, for you, you're a go-getter. You're like, go, 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 do, do, do. And that's wonderful. That's very compatible, first of all, because where you're very maybe high energy, he will kind of bring you down to a more mellow level when you need to come home and just relax.
Right.
And then you will motivate. Yeah, you'll be able to motivate him where he's a little more relaxed and not so pushed to get it done. And he's motivated, but it's just in a different way. He kind of gets it done in his time, on his say. Yeah. So he's going to be able to really kind of bring you down to a more mellow level, and you're going to really be able to motivate him and bring him up to more of a motivated level. Now, the thing is, though, the downside to that is he may kind of feel like, oh, she's so pushy, or she's, after a while, and then he may kind of like, look, that'll be his point of view. Then when you look at him, you kind of be like, gosh, I really wish he was more motivated, and that he had more of a, he felt more rushed to get this done type feeling is what I'm getting.
Okay.
And so, but neither is right or wrong. It's just your personalities, and they are compatible.
Okay.
So that's it in a nutshell. Is there any other question you have, or is there anything else you'd like to ask about?
My career.
Okay. Now, your career, is there a question of relocating for you?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm kind of getting that you do something where you have clients and you need to have a clientele. Is that correct?
What, sorry?
Clientele, like you need to have people that you kind of build. You kind of build your clientele.
Clientele, yes.
Okay. So did you do hair or something like that?
No, I do energy healing.
Energy healing. Okay. Because I also feel like you do really well doing hair and makeup and stuff like that. But
yes, I do.
You do. Okay. Yeah. You're great at it. But I think that the basic thing about relocating is to be aware that when you do relocate, you're going to have a new clientele. And I know it depends on how far away you move, of course, but just to be aware of how long it takes to build that clientele. Take that into account. Think about how much you'd have to save, and maybe have a backup plan in the interim to have a good savings. And I feel like you're such a planner that you probably have thought of all of this, but that I'm just confirming that yes, this is really what you need to focus on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
And gee, I really feel like you would just do really well in something that where you do makeup or hair. Like you could also do that as a supplement job. Like people would love you. You know, you're really fun to be around, and it would just be really fun for you and the clients. You do a great job.
Right now, I'm doing house cleaning on the side because I don't have the clientele for my intuitive energy healing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing is about the energy healing thing. It's really word of mouth, and you have to get to those people and those pockets of people who are open to it and who understand that.
Yes.
And I really feel like one of the ways that you could get more clientele doing this energy healing is to go to places where people are being treated for cancer.
Okay.
And that they would be very open to you doing energy healing, and maybe even just coming in and doing a little bit of like a volunteer work where you go in and you say, look, I do this energy healing, that they'd be open to it. You just say, look, if you could just let your patients know that I do that to help them through this process. And then you just give out your cards to every single person and you say, let me know if you need me. And, it's basically about them also spreading the word, and their families, it's just word of mouth. And they'll feel that you can heal them. And you'd be surprised at how quickly this spreads when people know what you do is real, and that what you do helps and heals.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's the most lucrative part of the health industry for energy healing is through the cancer centers right now, even like at a university or a hospital.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there anything else that I can help you with tonight? Or do you have any other questions about either topic or?
The only thing I was thinking is with this fellow, how is he going to mingle within my family, like with my children?
Yes. I think it'll go really well. It's going to be, of course, it's going to take some time. Just, I would say be very, very slow to introducing him, and just make sure that he's kind of tapered in that dynamic. I think at first I think he's a little different than what the guy that you're used to bringing into your space. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's complete opposite. Yep.
Yeah. So it'll be a little bit of a surprise at first for everybody.
Okay. All right.
And I just, it's going to be new, but this is the thing. You're now attracting healthier men.
Right.
So even, it doesn't matter really what our family says to us about the person we're with. It's like, if it works for you, if he works for you and you guys are happy together, that's all that really matters.
That's right.
And this guy will be slow too. He's just slow to warm up to people, and that's just part of his personality. And don't worry, he's not, if he kind of drops off the face of the earth a little bit here and there, don't worry. He needs his space to kind of regroup and feel like he's in control of his life, I guess you could say, because you've swept him off his feet a little bit.
Right.
And, basically you've really made him feel needed, because he's had an issue with feeling needed and appreciated in the past.
Okay.
So the good news is that you do that for him. And just remember that when men are feeling a little overwhelmed with emotions, sometimes they need some time to step back and regroup.
Right. Yes.
So that's what he's going to need. He's very masculine, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and he wants to make sure.
Soft, gentle.
Yeah, like teddy bear, big teddy bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Seems really sweet. And, I just feel like the more that you are, just allow him to have a space and then wait for him to come back. It's important, and not for you not to get anxiety if that happens, because I feel like you've had some abandonment with men in the past, or some trust issues. And so don't worry that's not him. Okay. He is a guy, he's red-blooded male. He just, he just kind of needs to have that masculine feeling of being on his own in control of his life for a little bit, and then he'll come back. You just have to kind of wait for him to come back on his own time and his own way. And he'll be fine. You guys will be fine. I see that you guys will be very close for a very long time. And I feel like it's a lifelong partnership, meaning you guys are going to be close for a very long time. And of course, anything that you decide is what happens. I always tell the person, like, okay, that's what I see as a possibility. But of course, whatever you say goes in your life, right? You don't have to, like, just because I say, oh, he's there for a long time, now you're stuck with this guy. No.
Sure.
Like, if you feel like you want to change this or whatever around, that you can do that, of course, that's your choice. But I do see a very clear possibility of a very long-term relationship with him. And I think you'd be very happy with him. And I think that, again, you have to know going into this, he is going to do things on his own time. He won't be told what to do. He's going to do it in his own time, in his own way. And we as women, sometimes we're like, we like all the details and we just want to get things done. And, I know you're a patient person too, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like he's going to really need that time just to, like, do it in his own way, in his own time. And that's okay. You'll be fine. It'll teach you a lot of patience too with him.
I bet. Yeah.
That's good.
That is something. That is a good thing. Yes. Well, thank you so much. That, like, clarifies so much for me. Oh my goodness.
Good.
That was amazing. Yes.
Good.
It just, like, it settled my heart. Because I'm like, really? Like, this is like the first guy I've dated in, like, a whole year. And it's like, boom, as soon as I met him, it was like, oh my God, like, what the heck? Yeah.
See, I feel like you were doing
like a lot of connection to this guy.
Yeah, and I feel like you were doing a lot of your internal work during that year where you were wanting to really attract the right guy, because you just had these guys where you're like, whoa, what's going on?
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's great. Yeah. Good work. You did wonderfully.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling in. Bye. So just to kind of reiterate what happened in the reading, we had Angela call in, and she was wondering about this guy. And see, this is the thing about, I saw him as a Cupid, and really sweet guy, and really loving, and he's very easygoing. He's the type of guy that has a little bit of a temper when he's really pushed, but he's mostly really easygoing, and that's going to be very compatible for her. But what I like to, like, really, really tell people when we're doing a reading on their significant other or their partner, whoever's in their life, there's always going to be the challenges that come with the good things, and we have to weigh out what we're going to be patient enough with and what we can deal with in a relationship. And every single human has their flaws, and we just have to figure out what we're going to be able to live with and deal with. And that's just how it is, and we have to also decide if they're going to be okay with ours, and to admit that we have our own faults. We sometimes do stupid things or say stupid things, or we, have our personalities that are also unique. And really, it's a dance of trying to be comfortable and accepting and learn the lessons that we need to learn from that person, because every person that crosses our paths are karmically going to teach us exactly what we need to know at that point, and to draw to our attention the things that we need to work on spiritually as a person. And really, it's a spiritual journey when we're with someone, when we're with a partner, and it's about learning what we can spiritually. It's less about just always trying to see if, or do they like, all the shallow things, like what kind of movies they like, or what kind of music. Okay, well, yeah, that's important. But really, what are your personalities like? What is it that draws you two together? Because usually what draws two people together is also going to be their biggest issue, or could be their biggest issue, because in the long run, these things kind of get messy. And so what I discussed with Angela is that, yes, this guy's easygoing. He's different than anybody else. And this is wonderful. She got through this sort of a sludgy time of, like, dense energy time in her life with relationships. She kind of got rid of these other guys that were not trustworthy, not very kind. And now she's drawn to her. She's healed all that. And she's drawn to her because of that's healed. She's drawn to her this guy who's much more compatible with her and who's going to be more kind and patient and loving and giving. And now she's going to have a new set of challenges with this person to work through. And it's not anything that's, just, completely horrible, but she will have to work on patience with letting somebody do things their own way and in their own due time. She's going to have to deal with a lot of masculinity, which is also going to kind of help her to develop her femininity, which is a really great thing for men and women, or whoever is predominantly masculine and feminine in the relationship. And it's going to be a very wonderful time for her to not just learn new lessons and grow spiritually, but it's also going to be a maturing time. It's a maturation time of dealing with feelings of insecurity or uncertainty, and trying to figure out if can I trust this person. Now I have my kids involved, and it makes it so much more complex when there are children involved and parenting, and sometimes that person will have kids when you're at that stage in your life. And so it's really important to just really look at this as our learning experience and just see, what is it that we need to learn from this person? What is it that we're maturing in our spirits? What is it that we're maturing in our hearts? How is this opening our heart? How is it really helping us to trust our own intuition and exactly what we feel we need at the time and what we can offer the other person? Because when we have these relationships, when we come together with another person, what we're doing is we're looking into a mirror. And it may sound tricky, but it's very simple. We look at that person, and they're either going to reflect our insecurities or the things that we need to work on. And their reactions to our faults is also a mirror. So really, when we have these relationships, not just with friends and family and kids and our significant other, but it's also important to remember that spiritually, however you look at it, the universe, God, the angels, they will also mirror back to us exactly what we need at that time, because we are made in their image. We are in the same image. And it's important to remember that when we pray, we meditate, we look in that mirror, we're going to have things reflected. Usually when we're in our darkest hour and praying to, God, or universe, however people view that, when we're praying, it's basically a mirror off of God. We're bouncing off of God, what our needs are at the time and how that's reflecting in our life. So it's very, very important to pay attention to what you're praying about and journal it, because in that darkest hour, there are things that come up while we're praying that will reflect in our relationship during the day when our conscious mind is more or less taking over. So when we're in our kind of like really needy time and we're being beggars and we're asking and we're praying and we're really, really, focusing on these things that we really need, that's the time to write down what you prayed about, because later on you'll kind of remember, oh yeah, when I was, in that mind frame, and you're more of your subconscious, your inner child, subconscious mind, that's when we're really digging deep and getting all that dirty stuff out of there that we really need to fix and we really need some help with, and we just don't know what to do with it. And during the day, if we can focus on that and see what's happening with our significant other, or even the relationships at work or friends or our kids, see how that's showing up in those relationships. And sometimes the people around us, like our significant other, our kids, and all those relationships we have, sometimes that's just the best reflection of the answer to our prayers, is just, oh, you know what, I need to work on this. And maybe if I change my behavior, when I look in that person and I'm basically looking in a mirror, it's reflecting my own self, I'll be able to improve myself and to help be more helpful to that person and draw closer to that person. And the more close our heart chakra, our spirits, our love grows closer to the person or the people that we love, then we are becoming more one. And that means that we are growing exponentially spiritually, and we are retracting from the temptation to be attached to things we can't control, which is going backwards in the spiritual realm. So the goal is to really figure out what it is that we can and can't control, and to act accordingly, and to only really act on what we can control and to focus on that. So my time is up tonight. I had a really good time tonight. Thank you so much to Angela in Ontario, Canada, for calling in tonight. I had fun. And I will see you next week. I'm here every Thursday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, and that's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And you can always reach me at AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com. It's at the bottom of the screen, or you can search for my show, Insights into Consciousness with Anna Olson, on YouTube. You can also look at the podcast for Apple, for iTunes, Google Play. It's kind of all over the place. So just search for Insights into Consciousness, A1R, Anna Olson, and you'll be able to find me there. So I'm also on Facebook, A1R Radio, or Anna Olson Intuitive. So give me a call if you need a reading. I can help you just guide you through all those different things, relationships, job, career. And tonight was a pure example of how I can see all of those things and guide you through it. And I love to do it. And I'm here for you. So again, my name is Anna Olson, and I will see you next week on Thursday. Have a wonderful week.
Hi, I'm Tracy, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hello everyone, this is Fiona, Virgin Medium I Am Power, and of course you are guys listening to A1R, and tonight is Abby's show with Psychic Bella Love. Hello Bella, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, sweetheart. How was your day so far? Sounds like you've been busy. For those who actually gave us feedback, we would love to send free minutes, and Abby has always been generous by credit and credit account also send the free minutes for an advisor or in behalf of advisors. So how was your connection and feelings with Abby? It was like, how did you feel?
So
like,
good.
what was the response, or better say feedback from your client?
My clients have been loving this site. They say it's so easy to use. And it's funny because I have a lot of clients who use other platforms, and they said like they don't want to use the other platforms anymore because they just feel like even the energy is so much better over on Avid.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I kind of like feel good too when I feel and sense that there's a tons of people that sending me an email and says, well, Fiona, we are so happy that we finally find you because we've been very sad in the past of couple days and months or so because, you know, you've just been disappeared. And I says, well, you know, I always, you know, is around, and you guys can just like go and Google Virgin Media I Am Power, and I am kind of everywhere. So one person with almost the 1.5 million of followers, it's very easy to find. Yeah. So let's see what Dave has for us. I don't know. Hopefully we did not lost connection. No, he's there because it's not like new Skype. It's just a little bit fishy. Sometimes you feel that, sometimes you feel that maybe, you know, our producer is just gone for party and then we are in an autopilot. Okay. So now back to studio, and now I have Maria. Hello, Maria from Australia. Hello, Maria. How are you doing, sweetheart?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well, CD. Gorgeous, give me your date of birth. Me and Bella would love to help you with anything and everything we can. Please give me your date of birth, and then tell me what you want to know of your moment. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my date of birth is the 23rd of November.
Okay, Maria, we got it.
And do you need the year?
Okay, sweetheart. And
what do you want to know?
What do you want to know of your moment, sweetheart? What is exactly your question is in a spiritual level? What is exactly you have in your heart? What we can do for you tonight?
I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you properly.
What we can do for you tonight? What do you have in your mind?
Oh, okay. Just anything general, really. Whether career, travel, family, what you see, just anything, really.
Yeah. So, Bella, I think you can start it, and I'm open to Pentagon because Bella is always very fast with to pick up things, and because you have a lot of beautiful sense, as I know, and you are very well known for that. So please, darling, go ahead for Maria, and I'm trying to open the Pentagon for her as well. Go ahead, sweetie.
Okay. Hi, Maria. I usually prefer people ask specific questions just because general readings, you know, a lot of information comes up.
Yep, no, that's okay. If I could have a career, I want to get into self-employment later. I was just wondering, can you see that in my future?
Okay, you said you wanted to get into what kind of employment, hon? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Self-employment.
Oh, that's okay. Self-employment. My own business.
Okay, perfect. You know, I actually do feel that coming through for you. I feel like as we get towards the end of the year, you're going to take bigger steps that are going to take you towards that. It is something that happens for you next year. I'm feeling like around, I want to say June. Fiona might get a different number. She's better at timing than I am usually. But I do feel like as we get towards the end of this year, you are going to make some contacts with people who are going to be able to help you on that path so that you can focus mainly on just working for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So, Maria, I see two things for you. The first one is about that try to focus and have your only focus about that everything is going to be all right. I feel that you have so much fears around because I see in the Pentagon, show me the number 22 and number 1111, which shows about that you are all over the place right now. You are concerned and worried. You really can't focus on whatever you are thinking to do because you know, the fears of losing, the fears to not having the money back, the fears that maybe the result is not going to be the same way or whatever you win. It's just going to make you to feel extremely uncomfortable and sad and disappointed. So all I wanted you to do to shut down the part of your brain that telling you that maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe you should not do it. Maybe you should listen to that and this person. Maybe that's not actually your idea or good way or any right or nice direction. So any of those negativity or negative thoughts, feedbacks, anything that come from others and even come from your own thought, I wanted you to shut it down. I wanted you to highly focus and make sure that everything is going to be exactly the way as you wish and desire. So the only things that I wanted you right now to focus about, what should I do to make these things happen? I wanted you absolutely to go for it. I don't want you to think in any other things. Just go for it. And then make sure you are not listening to people who told you, oh, I did that too, but I did not succeed. Oh, you know what? I don't think so that it's going to be you or anything like that. Just stay away from negativity, negative people, and anyone and everyone that says you can't. So basically, focus, go, and don't worry about money, finance, or is everything going to be all right?
Okay, excellent. And do you see me moving house at all, like building a house or buying another house?
Yes, there is actually moving for you that coming before 2019, which is I can feel and sense that it would be around November 10, November 15 through actually December 3rd and December 4th, which I can see that around the month of October, a lot of discussion and a lot of movement going to happen about that move. So yes, the movement I can see for you, and it's very clear.
Okay. Do you see it? Is it going to be within the same city I live in, or is it going to be? I'll be traveling to move like interstate.
I'm not seeing any traveling. I'm not feeling and sensing even in your Pentagon that you're going to travel or you're going to have like a difficult time for anything. So you don't need to be concerned about that. Yeah, everything actually looks good. Yeah.
Okay. And is there any health issues coming up or anything health that you can see?
I feel Bella, as far as I'm concerned in your Pentagon, your health is excellent. I don't have any problem with your health. Besides that, I can feel a little bit of your bone pain, kind of like maybe muscle pains, which is if you have time for yoga example, if you have time for just walking, you need to do that. but it's not really serious, and I'm not really seeing any serious condition that you may need medicine for to calm down and relax. So all I wanted you to do is just stop to be concerned and worried. You are that type of the person that you're always going to concern and worried about things. You double kind of like think about everything, and you don't know exactly where to go sometimes because it's just killing you, those thoughts. So please stop overthinking your overthinking. Everything going to be just all right, sweetheart. And for more information about me and Bella, you can go to avidadvice.com. And if you sign up tonight, for sure, Avid would love to send you 5 free minutes to talk to any advisor, and of course, Bella and me. Yes, my love. Do you have any other question?
Travel. Do you see me traveling? Any travel in my future?
Travel for pleasant or pleasure, yes. I can see the pleasure traveling, but I'm not seeing that you are traveling because you have to change your job or you have to change your place. But you are traveling because of a pleasant time together with people that you would love to. Yes, I see traveling. I see trip. Yes, I do.
Do you see where and when?
The where I can see that going to be actually a very nice weather because I see the palms. So you are definitely going to travel in a place that maybe there is a big palm tree. And also I see sunny and beautiful ocean view. That's what I can pick up right now. And the event time, it would be at the end of October, which I can see that you're going to celebrate some good news with California movement or something that you are guys going to discuss about your move. So basically after the 23rd, through actually the 3rd and the 1st of November, I can see that a lot of changes happen, but you celebrate it because you receiving good news at that time, and that's why the travel will happen. So I see the trip going to happen at the end of October.
Yep, no problem. That was all. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Have a great one, and welcome to avidadvice.com. So back to studio. Okay, Bella, we have Bully from Florida. Hello, how are you doing, sweetie?
I'm good.
Awesome. I love your energy. It sounds like you are kind of, I have a tons of questions from Bella. I have tons of questions from Fiona. So, okay, get ready. So we both ready. So we would love to give you anything and everything you would love to know from your life, now, present, future, anything. Just please give us your date of birth and let us to guide you to see where we can go. Go ahead, please.
Date of birth is March 19th, 1972.
Okay. I see that. Okay. Okay, my love, shoot your question.
I'm sorry?
Tell me about your question. Go ahead, please.
Just recently made a big move to another state. I've lived in the same state my entire life, so this has shaken us up, us meaning myself and my family. Just recently have applied for a few jobs, just kind of wanting to know how the area is going to work for us, anything I should be looking for. What do you see in our future?
Okay, when I come to the movement, I would just be fast and then Bella can start it too. What I feel and sense that directly when you're talking about move, you did a great, fantastic decision. So congratulations to you and your family. That was a very nice decision. Number two, when it comes to fears of if I can find a job, answer directly came from my mind, and the picking of the energies is yes. There is no doubt about it. You will get it. But you have to be patient, and also you have to be positive, because I can see you've been tired, you're still tired, you still need to digest everything around, which is completely new. But the feelings that I have, you are going to receive some good news, which in the Pentagon shows me around actually the 10th through the 23rd of the month of October. So that's why I feel that it come through some company or some place that you may applied already, or someone going to introduce you to that place, which is definitely going to get you in as easy as possible as you're going to get shocked. So No worries and no craziness about if I'm going to find a job, because the month of October, and I see that you are writing the contract with the new place. Go ahead, Bella. How you feel?
I agree. I was getting October as getting a new job for you as well. I feel like you are in the perfect place for you. I actually see you making new friends too. And do you have children?
Yes, I have a daughter and a grandson.
Okay, because I felt you making friends connected to them, if that makes sense. Like, they go do something and you go with them and you make friends with people there, and it's connected to some sort of like schooling or program, like after school program, something for the kids to do. So I keep getting you actually meeting some people that you really are going to connect with and make really good friends with there. Because you're where you're supposed to be, things are going to line up for you exactly how they're supposed to. You know, you're going to get a job that you really like. You're going to make really good friends. You're going to really enjoy it because this is where your spirit calls you to be at this point in time.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you know what the funny news is for you is, like, when I always tell to all my students, fans, and followers, stop overthinking your overthinking. Then why you are too worried? I understand moving to the new place, new state is a very big decision. A lot of things to digest, a lot of things to think and feel about it. But you know, the one thing that you should know, if you just calm down and relax and feel that I'm thankful and grateful that I'm still alive. I'm thankful and grateful that my children and my grandchildren is still around me. I'm thankful and grateful for everything that God gave it to me right now at the moment, and sending thank you to every single blessing that you have, which is I always tell to my fans and followers, please write it down for things that you are so thankful and grateful for right now at the moment, right at the moment. So anything that comes to you to your mind about thankfulness and gratefulness, just focus on them and don't allow any negativity or come, because we are human beings. It's very easy for us to be all over the place, to thinking all over the place. So what we have to do, we need to change our thought and telling to our, or train our subconscious mind that always thinking positive. That means you are fake it until you make it. So you always have to train your brain to feel that there is no emergency time. Everything is under control, and you are so thankful and grateful, and no one and nobody can hurt you, your family, or anything. And the new place is going to bring you new happiness, prosperity, abundance, love, new circumstance of people, and everything. May I ask you that why you guys kind of making decision to move from that or from this state to another state, if I may ask?
It has always been my dream to live near the beach. And my husband just doesn't want to be in the cold anymore. So that is why we made the decision to move, and it's been 4 years in the process. So each year, during those 4 years, we kind of put it off, but this time we did it. We put the action out there, he applied for a job, and next thing we know, we're here. So.
That is fantastic. That is really fantastic. You see, you're a dreamer, and I love people like you. When you have or you had some dream in the past of 4 years, you just think and thought about it, you talk to your husband, but you know what? You're strong. You have a beautiful, strong personality. Your spirituality also, it makes me to feel so good. Isn't it, Bella? Do you feel the same?
Definitely. You really have the power to manifest things, too.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
When you feel that your spirit is calling you to something, like you said you had this dream, that's your spirit talking to you, speaking to you, telling you this is where you're supposed to be, and you were able to make that happen. So use and harness that power to work for you.
Yes. And then what the funny part, or good news, but I say it's funny because I can feel and sense you when before you call us, you've been kind of a little bit concerned that, oh my God, what type of news should I actually, receive? Are they going to tell me that, oh my God, that type of the move is not good? Oh, this is just this and that. So I can even feel and sense you before you get some answer from us and come to and talk to us. You've been kind of a little bit nervous how to start, and hopefully they're going to be positive about my mood. So yes, my love, we are very positive about your mood. The guidance that I have, far and beyond, and also the connection that I have through your Pentagon with the date of birth that you provide is telling me that yes, your guys did an awesome job, and I wanted you to continue. Go to the beach. You know, you want to be close to the beach, then walk through the beach. Just like be there for half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour. Try to manifest. Be there. Water will take away your tense, your negative energies, your uncomfortability, sadness, any sort of things that you may not really digesting right now because it's completely new and scare you. Just talk to ocean. And ocean will take away that tense and anxiety. I promise you, ocean is always going to be helping in many ways and any ways you would love to, because this is exactly, I always say to everybody, if you're tired, if you're sad, if you have if you are anxious, if you've been depressed for a long time, whatever you have right now, go to the beach, walk, just look at the water, and then manifest, and then ask and receive.
Yeah, exactly. And the water definitely, you can work with that energy. You know, if you sit there and you meditate as the waves are rolling in and you start envisioning what it is that you're looking for, you can harness that energy to help you make these things that you need, these next steps, you know, the friends, the job for you, maybe you need something for the house, whatever. You can use this energy to work with you to create that energy that you need to surround yourself with to manifest anything, basically, because you have that good energy. So harness it with the water as well.
Yes. And how many times you've been around the beach, though?
As much as I can, but we have some red tide happening right now. So I've been kind of staying away until that clears up, just sending my prayers and blessings to the water, but being safe for myself and my family for right now.
Awesome.
I missed it terribly.
Oh. How about your husband? Is he spiritual too? Is he like the guy manifesting or feeling happy or kind of, you know, how was his reaction towards that mood or move?
Well, at first he was a little reluctant. He really hadn't flipped it in his mind yet. And he had been with the same job for over 20 years. So this means a complete new start, you know, at our ages.
Wow.
So, and he's already started his job, and he's had just a little bit of bumps since he started. So,
is he a type of engineer or kind of like a science guy?
He is. He's into labor, construction.
Okay. So I kind of feel that he's happy. So you should not be worried about him. To be honest with you, when you just start talking about him, what I'm picking exactly right now at the moment, he's happy. So you should not be worried about him. So, and you should never feel that, oh, I may force him to leave the job that maybe, you know, he used to for 20 years, and now I'm asking to do, maybe he's not happy. No, he is happy. So stop worrying yourself. All I wanted you to do is just thinking about yourself, baby. Okay? So stop blaming yourself, because what you made as a decision really helped you and your family to stand in the ground, and just, I feel extremely happy for all of you. So you made a very strong, beautiful, and awesome decisions for yourself and everybody around you. So you should really feel blessed. Never blame yourself and never feel down and uncomfortable, because maybe someone or somebody going to tell you that, oh, you know, because of you, we are here. Because of you, I lost this and that. Because of you, I don't have any friend here. It's completely a normal behavior, and it's always happening in between husband and wife, and it's just very normal. Try to just not listen, move from the door or from the room, and I promise you, after a couple of hours and maybe day, he will come back to you, kiss you, and says, I love you. That is who he is.
Thank you.
I see that. You had a lot of pressure. I can see that your toes come up, and I'm happy that you do, because when you are, I feel that you press yourself wide. You see Bella, I see that she just really suffered for everything around her, and she was kind of felt lonely and not knowing exactly how to express, her feelings, because she wants everybody to feel good and happy. But now, the beginning of everything, you're always getting stress. And that's all I wanted you to do from now on. Meditate for 5-10 minutes. Shut down those negative energies and thoughts that come to you, and blame. Don't blame yourself. People who are telling you right now that maybe you did the wrong decision, or because of you we did this and that, they're going to kiss your hand and say, thank you so much for this decision. And it will happen at the end of this year. Okay? Just hang in there, my love.
I feel like you guys
been
are
up
going to be
and
sitting
down
around Christmas.
emotionally here, and there, and it's totally different
completely
atmosphere,
normal.
culturally,
It's normal, babe. It's normal. If we have a big dream, we have to give away something to receive something. So we can't have both. Okay, so we have just 60 seconds. Oh my God. So my love, you can find me and Bella on avidadvice.com. Just sign up right now and get your 5 free minutes. Thank you so much. And we are here for you anytime you need us. You are not alone. We are there. Okay, this is me again, Fiona. And this is Psychic Bella Love to say goodbye and see you next Thursday. Have a great one and bye.
Bye, guys.